I was going to move on to our dashboard within Civi, where we've got some dashlets, and I was going to run through some examples which may benefit and show you the power of SearchKit and FormBuilder. So majority of these dashlets have been built with SearchKit/FormBuilder, and I'll go through a few of them. The first one is going to be this one here on the top right, called My Scheduled Activities. And this one basically is a SearchKit which gives you a list of activities that have been assigned to the logged in user. So we've got some columns there called subject. If I click on the subject, we've got a pop-up which allows us to see more information in the activity. We've got activity type, when it's due, and the location. And we've got a nice little feature here which allows us to add an activity directly from the dashlet. So the first action I'm going to do on this one is just literally add an activity. From here, let's say of type meeting, and I want to assign it, sorry, I'm going to allocate it to a random contact, but I'm going to assign it to myself who I'm logged in. Just give it a subject and location, and perhaps put a date in the future. And if I save that, this SearchKit dashlet meets the criteria of everything I've done. And if I refresh that, I should see another activity there now, this one here. So when this activity has been completed, it will fall off this list. So it's a good kind of dashlet, especially if you're using the assigned to field with your colleagues. And that could be something they look at when they log in Civi. And how that was built is very similar to what I just showed you a little while ago, but a couple of additional things which I thought might be useful. First thing is, under filter conditions, I've added contact ID equal to current user. So if I'm logged in, it shows me assigned activities to myself. But if my colleague logged in, they won't see that information. They would see information based on activities assigned to them. That's all been done by this filter here, select current user. And the other important thing is, if I edit the form builder, the option I selected under placement, exposed to, I selected dashlet. That allows us then to have this as a dashlet, and I've dragged it onto my dashboard. So that was one example of a dashlet, My Scheduled Activities. We've got one more called DBS checks due to expire in the next couple of days, or sorry, next 90 days. And DBS is just a custom field on a contact type called volunteer. I'm just going to go to a volunteer record, and I'm going to enter some data. Not that one, sorry. This one here. And at the moment, we've got these custom fields called DBS expiry date, and I'm going to put a date in there in the future, but within 90 days. And I'm just going to put a DBS number in there and save. And if I go back to the dashboard, to that dashlet, we should see a new entry there. Yeah, that one there. And basically, this dashlet tells the relevant department that the DBSs are about to expire and some action is required. So obviously, this can be done for any field in Civi based on dates. And if I go to edit the SearchKit, and the way I did that, under filter conditions, we put a condition here that custom field, volunteer data, is less than 90 days after now. So they're relative dates, so we don't have to physically add any dates. We can just put these relative dates. And under the query information, we've got a value here with a date stamp. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it basically says, give me everybody who meets the criteria before August 21st, 2024. So we can change that value to whatever's suitable. So we can do things like, let's change that to 2 months perhaps. And if I run that query again, that value would have changed to July, 23rd of July. So we've got the power of these relative dates, which can be used on any dates across the system. One last one, and then we'll wrap it up. It's called missing postcodes, and this one's really good because it shows inline editing actions to be able to email people from here and download a spreadsheet. So any person, any contact that comes into your database without a postal code, and if full addresses are important to you, then this will be really useful. So if you somehow manage to find that you have got a postcode for this contact, then we can do inline editing and add postcodes on the fly without going to this contact record. And if I save that and I refresh this Dashlet, that contact should disappear. And if I create a new contact and intentionally add an address, but not add a postcode under addresses, so address, I'll add a city, and I'll leave out postcode intentionally. And if I save that and go back to that Dashlet, there should be a new entry there. So this Dashlet has got the new person now, and the last thing you want is to show a list of contacts where they've got no address details. So this Dashlet has a couple of conditions which include make sure that the postal code is empty, but also mentioned here that they've got an address by using with required. If I didn't add that, then I would get lots of contacts on that Dashlet where they're a contact in the system, but they don't have an address at all. Whereas with these conditions, I'm only getting contacts who have an address, but postcode is missing. And then we can obviously enter the information in line as it becomes available. So there's a couple of good examples of Dashlets and the power of SearchKit and FormBuilder. And before I wrap it up, one quick thing. So anything you see on our demo site, if you weren't aware, we've got the ability to actually export from here and import into your environment. So for example, if you were interested in the My Scheduled Activities one, if you go to the SearchKit screen and there's an option there to be able to export. So this gives you this page here, copy the clipboard. And if I go to another environment, which is the publicly available demo site, not our one, but the one provided by CiviCRM. And if I go to search and SearchKit, we've got the ability to import from here. All we need to do is paste, wait a couple of seconds, and if it's green, then everything looks okay, and we can import. And once that's done, if I go to the dashboard in this environment, there should be a Dashlet available for scheduled activities. And if I drag that onto my dashboard, there we go. So it's exactly as it was built in our environment, and it's been exported. Okay, gone a little bit over time, but yeah, that's all from me. Thank you very much.